friends, I'm Miss Alejandra. Welcome to another WPL at home video. Today we're going to be making fairy gardens in a jar. So you'll need a few things, not a ton. You'll need a jar to put your garden in. This is a 64-ounce glass jar. If you're going to be setting it outside, I'd recommend glass. It's just a little bit better. But you can use jar or glass or plastic, whatever you'd like. Like I said, this is 64 ounces, and then I also have some dirt in here. This is just dirt from my own garden. It's about an inch to a couple inches or so. I might have to throw some out. That might be too much, but we'll see. Nothing super special in there. I also have just some mossy rock looking things. They're just decorative. And these are actually super light as well, like you can tell. Very light, which is helpful. If you're going to be doing this project with any little ones, then it might be a good idea to get something that's a little lighter so that the jar doesn't get too heavy for them to carry. Especially if it's something that's this big, the jar itself is already somewhat heavy, plus the dirt, plus rocks. So that's just something to keep in mind. I also have some rocks. These are just rocks from my garden. I tried to find some of the smoother ones just to make it a little easier to paint if I need to. I also have just some other decorative rocks that I already had from a previous WPL at home video. I'm not sure if I'll be using these, but it's nice to have them just in case. And I also have some paint. So I'll be using acrylic today, paintbrush. You can use pretty much whatever kind of paint you'd like that'll work well on rocks. And most of them should hold fairly well. I just know that like this is acrylic and this was done several months ago and it's still perfectly fine. And these I actually did set outside. It's been rained on, it's been snowed on, and they're still holding up. So I know that acrylic works really well with that. And as far as your fairy garden, really it's whatever you would like. If you have any plants or leaves that you'd like to put inside, any maybe mushrooms would look really cute, can absolutely go in there. I don't have any of that, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna have to be painting mine. If you have any little like dolls that you'd like to put in there as well, totally go for that. It's entirely whatever you want it to be. So I think what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make a little house of rocks. So I'm going to paint the roof red and then have just like the regular rock be the color of the house. And we'll see if I actually get what I'm trying to picture in my head. So I think it'll be fun. Let's get started. Okay friends, so we are ready to paint. So I've got my red paint for the roof, some black just in case I want to do like some windows or something like that. I've also got a paintbrush and my mossy rocks. So I think I'm going to start with these just to see how much space I have once I actually fill up the jar with what I want so that I can start to build my little house around it. And then if you are using something similar to this, just be careful because they do shed quite a bit. So I'm going to put these just in here. There you go. And the cool part about these is that, like I said, they are very light. So they look really authentic, but they're really light, which is nice because then you can actually add in rocks if you want to. And then it won't add a ton of extra weight. So we've got that. Let's add some tiny ones. Or something like that. Oops. Alright. So as you can see, it's kind of looking like that. Alright, now I guess we can build our little house around it. So I'm going to put these aside for a second. And then bring this over here. Do we want... I think I want to set this one in there. Just maybe in the back. There's a little bit of... Do I want that there? I'm not sure. Alright, let's start to build the house and go from there. So I'll take that. And then I'll try to use my nicer rocks at the top so that they can actually be like the roof of the house. So it'll look something like that. So I think I'm gonna paint, at the very least, these two rocks red. And possibly this one, and that'll be the foundation of my little house. So let's try that. And these rocks shouldn't take super long to dry. So let's see. Try not to get it on you, because then acrylic paint is a little hard to wash off. So let's, looks a little pinker than I wanted, but it says red. So let's see what happens. And then if you are using outdoor rocks as opposed to like rocks that you buy for projects and things like that, I would suggest just washing the rock beforehand to take off any dirt or anything like that. There we go. Just something like this. I think I'll need to leave a little spot unpainted because that's where my finger is. And then depending on how red you actually want this, you may need to do at least a couple coats. I think I'll probably need to do at least a couple coats on that one anyway. All right, I'm going to keep painting my rocks, and like I said, do probably another coat on each of these. So that shouldn't take too long, and I will show you what it looks like when we are done with that part. Okay guys, so the paint is dry, and I actually left it at just one coat. I also ended up painting the other rocks white just because I thought that would make it stand out a little bit more here. So let me move this guy back to where I wanted it. Something like that. All right. So really, I mean, if you wanted to, you could even leave it like that, because I think that looks really nice. So now I'm gonna try and just build a little house looking thing here. Let's see. It's white. Let's try this guy up front. So something like that for the foundation. Let's push that closer. Like that. And there we go. So something relatively flat. And let's get that right there. So I have the little mossy rocks in the background, the white rocks in the front, and I am actually going to be adding this little unicorn squishy that I have. The tiny little guy, just a little unicorn squishy. I need to find somewhere for him to sit. He won't topple over as much. There we go, he's in there. And now we are ready for our lid. You see? Okay friends, so we are done. So our little fairy garden looks a little something like this. And you can see the little unicorn in there. I love him. I think he seems to go really well in this background. But as you can see, the plans change. I had these rocks that I didn't use, and I also painted these rocks, which I didn't need in the end anyway. So, I mean, plans change when you're having fun, and that's a good thing. It's good to express your creativity and be a little flexible with what you're originally thinking about and then what you end up with, because I actually am way happier with this than with what I was originally envisioning, so I'm happy that we did this. I think he looks so good in like the dirt and the little mossy rocks, and I think these white rocks down here really make him stand out, so I'm glad that we did what we did with this. I'm very happy, so I'm hoping that you guys will find a way to make your fairy garden your very own, and then like I said, you can either display this in your house, or you could put it outside in like a garden or outside on maybe a deck or a ledge or something, and it's just something nice to look at. So I hope you'll try it on your own. Don't forget to check back to our calendar to see what other fun programs we have scheduled for you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Bye.